Hey guys, Feuerrm here, and today I'm going to be testing the Arrinera Hussarya 33 in multiplayer in Asphalt 9. Now, I have managed to 5-star this car through playing that car hunt sort of thingy for it, and spending several thousand tokens on it because this is a car that is pretty much required if you want to get the Senna, and there's sort of a sad story about that I will tell you a bit later in the video. But another reason I wanted to get this car at 5 stars is because, well, it is the new King of Class C. Now, the previous King of Class C, the Venser Sarth, which is still pretty good by the way, check out Supersonic SG's comparison video between these two cars if you would like to see that, I only have that car at 4 stars, and I never was able to get it 5 star. In the car hunt that was for it sometime recently, I just was quite busy during that time, and thus I didn't get really much time to play it, but now I have this car, so I can do now good again in the Class C Elite events. So that's definitely a big bonus, and even if I don't manage to get the Senna, I'm still glad I got this car. You see, I might not actually get the Senna. Now, this may be a bit surprising. It came in with actually quite a lot of tokens, and the event is indeed easier and less pay to win than the Jesco event, although that's not honestly saying much. You guys probably know all about that Jesco event by now, and it's still worse than pretty much every other event that has happened in Asphalt 9 history. The Senna one is. So to fully complete the event, you're going to need a maxed Apollo N, P1, 570S, Arrinera Hussarya, and Aston Martin GT12. I have the Apollo N, P1, and Arrinera Hussarya maxed at this point, so that is good. However, my 570S is only 4 star, and I have just unlocked the GT12. Here, we beat another maxed Arrinera Hussarya, and in this next race we are going to have a duel against another one. So, with those cars in mind that I have, I'm only actually able, after doing all the conditions, to get 58 out of 60 of these Senna blueprints. I actually only unlocked the GT12 within the past couple days, and I had a decision to make before then. You see, at that point I had figured out that after doing all the conditions I'd be 58 out of 60, and so I either needed to A, 2-star, or actually 3-star the GT12, or 5-star the 570S. Now the 570S is only available right now, the blueprints are anyway, in the King of the Fall packs, or whatever they're called. And in those, you also can get the Apollo N and P1 blueprints. I also have both of those maxed, and I needed like 40 blueprints or something in order to star up the 570S. You see, if I bought one of those, even the 10 times, there would be absolutely no guarantee that I would actually get any of the 570S blueprints. So I figured that although I would definitely need more blueprints in order to get an 3-star the GT12, I would go for that, because I actually was guaranteed to get some, and you will usually get 6 on average in the packs about, whereas in the King of the Fall packs, you could go many packs without getting any, and I did not want to risk that. So I opened a bunch of GT12 packs, and got terrible luck. And here we beat this other maxed Arrinera Hussarya GT. You see, it took me 7,000 tokens in order to just unlock the GT12. I started out with 5 out of 45 for it, and I think I got 45 blueprints with those 7,000 tokens, or 6,700, or it's somewhere close to that. If you do the math, you will find that that is definitely below the average that you would normally get in those packs. About 5 blueprints for every of the 750 token 10 times packs. Now, it's quite likely that I will be able to 2-star the GT12 by the end of the event. Currently, I am sitting at only 6 more needed to star up, but then from 2-star to 3-star, it's 23 more blueprints. That would be an average of 3,000 more tokens I would need to spend in order to do that, which is an equivalent of $100. And I've already decided, no, I'm not spending any money on this game. That would be for a single one Senna blueprint. I can now say without a doubt that Asphalt 9 is more pay to win than Asphalt 8 is, because in the Asphalt 8 events, yeah, sure, you could spend $100 on 15,000 tokens, but you'd get an entire car out of that. At most, you would spend $200 to win a special event. In this game, it was 4,000 for the Jesco, and now it's 100 to get a single blueprint for a car that requires 60 of them. Tell me that is not ridiculous. Now, there may be a slight glimmer of hope, but don't get your hopes up too much. I'm sure you guys have seen that hashtag #NoDonate campaign that a lot of people have had in their team names, that hashtag, and Gameloft has finally begun to respond. I'll talk about that a bit more in the next race. In this one, we have beat 5 Viper ACRs as well as that SCG. So I think it was a few days ago that somebody, I'm not entirely sure who, if you're the one, I'm sorry, sent a message to Gameloft somehow with a sort of petition thingy, although it wasn't quite that, but they were basically asking for some changes to multiplayer, and most importantly, the events. This was supported by a good 30 or 40 teams across platforms, and I'm sure that more will end up supporting it as well. The first part of the message was about the 1 month-long multiplayer season, the Rush one, and all that. I personally don't think that that is too big of a deal, given that we have multiple currently going on secondary events that are not Rush. I personally don't find a problem with that, but I can understand that some people would. Now, the second part is the really important thing. They reiterated what I've talked about in some of my videos about needing around 20,000 tokens in order to get the Jesco, and they had apparently calculated about 15,000 in order to get the Senna. And they don't give nearly that many tokens out if you do pretty much everything in the game that you can. And this is furthered by the fact that the Senna event came out hardly any time after the Jesco event, so people had no time to build back up their tokens. So this large group of teams have gotten together and decided to spread the hashtag #NoDonate across social media and in the game, in the club names, and not watch ads, not buy any in-app purchases, give low ratings on the store, and that was a very close battle with that SCG. And finally, after all this time of protest, with this organized campaign, Gameloft is finally responding and actually asking for feedback. In the official Asphalt 9 Discord, they asked several questions about multiplayer, and they had you either give a 1 to 5 response if it was something about how much you liked it, or a up and down, like thumbs up and down response if it was something that whether you liked or not. They asked questions like, do you like Rush seasons? Do you like the classic seasons? Do you want multiplayer seasons to be shorter with, of course, shortened rewards? Things like that. And so definitely go vote on those if you would like to see perhaps some changes to multiplayer. I'm not sure just how much they're going to take this feedback, but it's something. And I believe they plan to address the more important part of the question later. At least I hope they do. So I've just realized that at least half of this video has been more of a Senna rant video. I did not intend to do that, but I'm sure you guys don't mind a whole lot. So let's talk a bit more about this car and the actual races that are going on. I just had to tell you those things while I was thinking about them. And also, by the way, the Asphalt 8 update did finally come on Windows a few hours ago as I'm recording this, but I've not been able to find the track in multiplayer yet, and there are no events for it. So yeah, I'm gonna make a video about gameplay on the new orbital loop track when I actually can get some races on it. So here we come in second, but we actually come in first, apparently. That other guy had a rather bad connection, or I did, or somebody did or something, and that caused me to come in first even though I was technically behind him. Very weird race there. Now this one here is probably one of the most full races and most competitive races of the video, because we have 6 SCGs. Now one thing you need to know is that the SCG is about 10-ish miles per hour faster than the Arrinera Hussarya. One interesting thing about the Hussarya is that its ending rank of like 3,800 something is extremely high for Class C, and frankly I think it's quite a bit too high for its performance, because the SCG ends up at around 3,500, and the SCG is a better car by at least a little bit. Now, I know that in most classes, cars of a certain rank won't be as good as cars of a higher class with the same rank. That may be new to some people. You can check it out with some cars high in the end of Class D, for example, and compare it to some ones in, say, Class C. But this just seems weird. It's like 500 rank higher than any other high-end C-class car, which is extremely unusual, because that doesn't really happen in any other class, that one car is hundreds and hundreds of ranks above another one. Even when it's not like all that much better, I mean, the Venser is still at least fairly close to it. So I'm not exactly sure whether this was a mistake on Gameloft's part or was a way for them to try and make up for this car's very high top speed for its class. Still though, it's not that much higher than the Venser's, which is hundreds of rank below it. Here we barely lost to one SCG and beat 5 others. So again, this goes to show, as I try to do in many of my videos, that if you have an inferior car, if you drive well, you can still beat cars that are better. On a different topic, in my community tab, I have posted a short poll asking if you think ground 360s are a good feature to have in Asphalt 9. Now, you guys know my stance about them. I honestly would rather them be removed from the game entirely entirely, but I have collaborated with Isaac Sierra, who also has a poll on his channel about that, so we can sort of figure out just how many people like them and how many people don't, because we were having a bit of a discussion about that. I added up the results of both of our polls, a total of around 1,500 votes so far, and 51.5% so far have voted against ground 360s, with 48.5% voting with them. However, I did notice that many people who voted yes in my comment section said that they want it in time-limited events in career, but not in multiplayer, or turn off multiplayer knockdowns. So this isn't 100% about the knockdowns with them, although I think that is a big driving factor in most people's decision on them, and that is what was reflected in the comments. So be sure to go vote and comment on that if you would like to have your voice heard in this matter. So time for me to give my general review of this car. It is the new king of Class C, highest speed in its class. It has better acceleration than the Venture, about the same nitro efficiency, and slightly worse handling, but overall it is a better car and can achieve better times on most tracks. Thank you all for watching. Please like the video if you've enjoyed and consider subscribing for more Asphalt, Forza, and Minecraft content. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!